what the system of justice is supposed to do is to harness the human desire for revenge and to pacify it and civilize it with a system that we call justice. It's not quite revenge. It eliminates the need for things like mob justice, individual acts of vengeance, stuff like this, by identifying crimes, and then identifying also means of redressing people for having criminality or for being the victims of criminality, and seeks to punish the perpetrators of crime in a way that's humane, rehabilitative. In the modern world, at least, we don't have things like public floggings anymore. Although maybe that is rehabilitative. I don't know. And actually, like, we need to go back to more of a sadomasochistic or more of a sadistic form of justice, maybe. I like the idea of putting people in funny costumes in glass boxes in the town square. But then again, that's public humiliation, isn't it? That's not really tolerated under things like the Human Rights Act. So we just send people to jail. But I just think, though, there's got to be a better way than jail, hasn't there? There's got to be a better way than prison. I mean, the thing is, like, it's wasteful. It's so unbelievably expensive. Prison, isn't it? And secure psychiatric hospitals and all places like that. There's got to be a better way. I mean, I know they make stuff in prison. They try to make money that way. The prisons themselves claw back money by trying to sell drugs to prisoners, or actually by selling drugs to prisoners. And all little screws be like, oh, just looking out for me and mine. Selling a bit of gear here and there, you know, to say that's a problem now. And the only problem they have with drones and so on in prisons is, like, you know, dealing with the competition from the gangs outside. And I would just think, like, okay, keep prison then. Keep prison. But make marijuana illegal in prisons. Let them smoke weed. Let them smoke tobacco. Let them use psilocybin. Let them use the safe hallucinogens for their own introspective spiritual purposes, and to try and make them into more peaceful, loving individuals who, you know, are more geared towards things like creativity and learning, which you would get, I promise you, with psilocybin. And if you were to legalize cannabis on the outside and on the inside, like, you would get, like, dramatically more passive, pliable, peaceful prison populations. The 5 Ps. The 5 Ps of prison. Because, like, I do not want to go to prison. I've never, well, no one's wanted to go to prison ever, but, like, I've learned a little bit about prison. Like, it's a minor fascination of mine, like what goes on in places like San Quentin, and like you see it in Louis Theroux documentaries and whatnot. And yeah, prison is interesting to me on a level, but like the two things that scare me most about prison are the drugs and the violence, drugs and violence, yes, but also 3 things. Also the boredom of prison. I can't stand the idea of how unbelievably boring it must be for most of the time. And then, like, so it kicks off. You know, like, so it kicks off every now and then. Someone, like, shanks someone in a shower block or whatever. It's like, I could be fucking next. I'd have to try and entertain people. It'd be my only way through it. It'd be the only way through, like, coping with the boredom and likely the violence. But I mean, that it brings with the added problem of, like, if I become popular in there, they might want to give me lots of drugs for free, right? And then demand payment at some point, and that could lead to fucking problems, I bet. Like, if I successfully manage to amuse them, like I'm a real sort of clown in there, like, then yeah, I could become really popular, couldn't I? Or I could become like the prison fool, the prison idiot, just in a corner going like, or by the pool table going, like, is that, oh, it's just Sam doing nonce impressions. I don't know, what does a nonce look like? And then it's like, isn't it? That's the nonce phase. Yeah, that's it. That's a nonce. I'm too good at that, aren't I? Yeah. I don't know. Like, what would I be doing? Oh, I couldn't stand prison. Fuck that shit. Around men all the time as well. Disgusting, stinking, fucking sweaty, hard looking. I bet there's some interesting types in prison though. That, in fairness, I bet you run into some fascinating characters in jail. And I don't think it would be all bad. I watched Jack Hill's brilliant YouTube channel all about his experiences in prison. He's this guy he got sent down for armed robbery because he was in debt or something, and yeah, he went to jail. He went to a Cat B prison, and the experience of it is horrible. Obviously, hated it apparently. Yeah, like, well, who the fuck would enjoy prison? Well, I mean, apparently people do though. Apparently people do. Well, like very few people do, I think, but yeah, some people do, I reckon, enjoy prison. But yeah, violence, drugs, well, get raped. I suppose that's like a big problem in prison, isn't it? I don't want to get raped ever. I actually think I might have been raped once already in an NHS psych ward, which is sort of like prison, but it's soft prison, isn't it? It's like fancy prison for people who aren't strictly speaking criminals. Or for silencing witnesses or whatever and intimidating the victims of crime very often, I imagine. Or just traumatize people acting out, lock them up, and see if they get better. That's, I guess, the general thrust of it. Torment them with dangerous drugs for a little while, see if that improves them or intimidates them into behaving. That's generally what I've been sectioned for in the past, but no, I've never been to jail. Jail's somewhere like you go where like you fucked up deliberately and you know you fucked up, or you were deliberately trying to do something and that's why you get sent to jail. Or you could be doing it accidentally and having a nervous breakdown and then get identified in prison as being a psych patient, then you get put in a psych ward. I don't know. Whatever it is. But treatment, like it needs a radical overhaul. What as above, so below. What works on the outside would also work on the inside. You know, allow them to smoke weed. Allow them that at least. Allow them a bit of telly. Allow them the internet. Come on, it's the 21st century. Get mobile phones in there. Allow it. Allow them to have a fucking phone. You just don't need them on the outside, causing problems for people. And try to limit the extent to which, like, if they cause problems with their phone somehow, I don't know, cause someone distress or start harassing someone or whatever it is, or downloading child pornography or whatever, take it off them then. And, like, reduce their privileges and so on and whatnot. I don't know. But yeah, or is always, isn't it? Like being the more civilized person, the more civilized individual, being the bigger person, because this is very Roman justice thinking, isn't it? We be merciful because we're better than you are, and we're going to embarrass you with our mercy and our hospitality, rather than be childishly and recklessly punitive in our behavior. And we're going to demonstrate to you our moral superiority via doing so, and our more advanced levels of mercy and humanity. That's what we should be demonstrating with a system of justice, and we can do that very easily here. We can, have psilocybin treatments in prisons. We can make prisons more comfortable. We can, allow the weed and tobacco, have the smoking area or something. And they've got video games anyway. What are they going to be doing for 99% of the time if most of them are stoned? They will be playing video games and on the internet doing this and that. Put books in there, more books, better books as well. I've heard about like the horrors of prison libraries and the endless Jilly Cooper sort of trashy chick lit that gets put in there. You need your Plato and Aristotle. You need your Isaac Newton. You need your Alexander Pope and all these sort of texts. Yeah, your big poetry books and your big science books and all that stuff. Philosophy. You need all that stuff. Yes, you do. You need your Spinoza, your Hobbes, your John Locke, all these people. Yeah, you need that, definitely. And I would say allow weed and psilocybin, but no cocaine, no MDMA. It'll get in anyway. There's a problem with it. It is the problem with it. I'd say like all methadone treatment for heroin addicts and so on, and for crack addicted people, whatever they need, and maybe even a little bit of cocaine, really. Well, I mean, yeah, to try and get them off it, just weaken the cocaine over time. And say but insist that they have to go for a good long while without cocaine. And it's like you're getting weed and mushrooms. Come on. I think you don't need to be a cokehead anymore, but no pills, nothing like that, actually. I think. But yeah, I mean, I think with weed and psilocybin treatment, and more clinical psychologists in there and so on, working, it could be a fantastically curative. Prisons might empty, you never know, or they might not. But keep finding new people for historic crimes to lock up. That's my vision for it. That's my vision for reforming the prison system. Like more of the good stuff and tolerance of weeks. They'll get it anyway, and it'll be an inferior product. It'll be a more dangerous, more addictive product. You want it legal, so it's not that addictive or not at all addictive, because in the illegal market they flock it with all sorts of chemicals and synthetic cannabinoids and all this ghoulish nightmare stuff to make incredibly potent, strong weed. And if you had it legal, you could regulate it more effectively and easily. And weed could actually become something positive and that cures people and helps people. And it'd just generally be better all round if it were legal. And prison wouldn't be an altogether nice place to be, irrespective of these sorts of reforms. People would, after all, still be locked in a building. But I think the greater levels of comfort, mercy, humanity, and a fair and conscientious and enlightened sense of justice. I think, or more enlightened sense of justice. A more tolerant and merciful justice system is what we need, I think, because it's a terrifying prospect getting sent down for like a serious crime or a crime, and getting sent to jail. It really is. It's terrifying. It should do what it says on the tin. It should not be a revolving door. It should be more sensitive and more and exhibit a higher standard of morality, tolerance, and humanity, I think, and go very much after that Roman style. So we're better than you are because we are more tolerant and merciful, and we don't commit crimes where you're going to get sent to jail. We'll show you our humanity, hospitality in there, absolutely, and we will demonstrate to you that we're kinder and fairer than you are, and you'll go here to learn a lesson from mushrooms and John Locke, hopefully, which everyone should read it. But thank you for watching. That's been my video all about criminal justice. I hope you enjoyed it. Bye.